Being a detective. Why become a detective? You may be seeing a behavior in your child that you're concerned about. Becoming a detective will support you to identify and understand if there's a pattern with your child or young person, and understand how they react in certain situations. Not all behaviors need changing. We would first suggest you consider the following questions. Is it stopping them from doing something? Is it harmful to themselves or others? If you've answered yes to either of these questions, this presentation may support you in understanding the behaviors that you see, where to start, and what questions to ask. These are some prompts which may help you: where, when, why, who, what, and how. Let's go through each one in a little more detail. Where do we start? When you observe a behavior, it's useful to ask yourself, where is the behavior happening? Does it happen in different environments, for example school or home? When does this happen? Note the times and keep a record. Why is the behavior occurring? Do you notice any triggers or things that are happening just before or around the time that you see the behavior? Who is there when it happens? Is it mum, dad, siblings, peers, or school staff? What are they trying to achieve from their behavior? They could be getting your attention or communicating to you. We'll share some more ideas of what when we show you the iceberg diagram. How does it happen? Make a note of what they do. We'll show you some tools which you may find helpful when writing your observations. This is the iceberg diagram. Some of you may have seen this already. An iceberg is used because you can only see the very tip of this above the water, but there's a lot of ice underneath the water, which we may not automatically think about when we think about behaviors. The top of the iceberg is what you see your child doing, but it's important to think about all the possible reasons why this may be happening. This is the hidden ice: feelings and emotions. There are many emotions to think about: fear, sadness, worry, frustration, confusion, feeling overwhelmed or anxious. Motivation. Perhaps they're interested in the activity, or are trying to avoid it. Sensory processing. Perhaps they're trying to avoid a certain sensation, or are trying to gain a certain sensation. Gaining attention. This may be a way of getting an adult to help them, or to notice that they need your support. Managing change. They may find it difficult to cope with a change of activity or environment. Communication. Perhaps they're trying to communicate a need to you, such as needing the toilet, feeling pain, or maybe they don't understand what's being communicated to them by someone else. We have shown some ideas of what could be below the water, but please remember that there could be many more possible reasons. Identifying the reason is really important before deciding what strategy might help. We'll now talk briefly about the ABC model. This is another tool that can be helpful when thinking about your child's behavior. The A is the antecedent, the B is the behavior, the C is the consequence. A. Antecedent. What was happening right before the behavior? Who was there? What were the expectations? What was going on in the environment in terms of their senses, seeing, hearing, and touching? B. Behavior. What was the specific behavior observed from the child? Think of the time of day. Had they eaten? Are they anxious? C. Consequence. What happened directly after the behavior occurred? This process takes time and effort. We would suggest that you do it over a period of time, such as a whole week, to gather as much information as possible and capture a range of examples. Once you feel you have a good understanding about why your child is reacting in a certain way, you can now begin to think about how you can support them. We're not able to go through all the possible strategies here as the reasons can be so varied, as we showed you in the iceberg diagram. If your detective work thinks the behavior is due to sensory reasons, the other sensory videos will hopefully give you some ideas.